We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung kính Đại Đức Tăng Thịnh, vì thứ Pháp vui cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, kính thuyết diệu Pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư vi khổ đạc là thức chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đàn Thù Sư Chế Đô Yế Ở Lại Hờ Đi Sàn Mèo Sàn Phù Tô Xế. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tô Già Đà Già A La Hà Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin qian wen de shou qu yuan jie ru lai zhen shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, all venerable monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thánh Lương, Đại sư Hòa Thượng Kiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, 金良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, today is the 17th of July 2022. Thank you all for coming and joining us in discussing the Avatamsaka Sutra. It's going to be our major show here for quite a while. It's a big sutra. It's about the secrets of the universe. All the things that your mother never told you. About God, about the ghosts, about the hells, about everything. Isn't it cool? So it's like, I feel like there's a section of it, it feels like it's gossiping. How many wives does God have? What does he do with all of them? You know? So anyway, here we are talking in this first chapter here about the rulers of the world, the leaders of our world, the entire universe. It's not, we're not talking simply just United States, this earth, talking about galaxies, all the galaxies in the world, how they're ruled, how things are kept in order, under control. And that's because of these great world rulers. And these rulers are actually mahasattvas, meaning high-level bodhisattvas who have tremendous power, or tremendous spiritual penetration, tremendous influence. And this world here, as you can imagine, these rulers here, they have their own world. They have their own network. They recognize each other as such. Just like, every now and then they get together in Davos and, rub shoulders, say, hey, how are you, dude, and so forth. And it's the same thing here, these rulers. And this is when they get together. Where? At the sutra lectures. See, our world leaders go to Davos, to Ibiza. Anyone goes to Ibiza anymore? Ibiza, anyone knows Ibiza? Never been there. Anyway, Chinese, what do you know? Okay, Ibiza is somewhere in Spain. Okay, that's where the great discos and, swimming pools are. Okay, so the world rulers, they hang out at these sutra lectures. And so it's the who's who. When the Buddha lectured on sutras, these world ruler leaders, they're all invited to attend, and they come there and they sit, in a very orderly fashion. The seniority, okay, just like in a temple here, the seniority. You see that person is more senior than the next, and so forth, going down the rows. Same thing, these world rulers, they sit in certain positions, and only they sit there, they all are surrounded by their own retinues. And so this is a fascinating way of learning about things that our professors and our parents never told you about. Sounds good? Okay, now, they are not just for themselves. They're here to help us, okay? And in order for us to be able to practice our spiritual practices, whether it's meditation, whether it's mantras, whether it's bowing, whether it's pilgrimages, in particular, in Buddhism, we have these way places where we set up temples, where people can come and cultivate under protection, under guidance, okay? Guidance is a luxury, but every single way place has protection, tremendous protection, okay? And the protection are necessary. It's really necessary. These Dharma protectors are really, really necessary for us to practice. Without them, there's no way for us to practice. So these Dharma protectors are called eightfold Dharma protectors, meaning there are 8 different kinds of protectors. Okay, and when we went through the list, we go into the list of these Dharma protectors, who are the rulers, meaning these are the leaders of these Dharma protectors. Okay, meaning that these big shots, they are overseeing the Dharma protectors of a region, an area of way places, temples. Okay, and so these some with this particular Dharma protector we're looking at are called Kumbanda. Okay, Kumbanda or melon ghosts. Okay, now I don't know about you, but my impression from talking to the people, listening to people gossip, I realized around 50% of the people I know have experienced Kumbanda attacks. Okay, they shape in a barrel. Okay, oak barrel. Okay, and they sit on you at night, and you can't sleep, and you can't breathe. Okay, and so they're called Kumbanda. Okay, no legs, no arms, maybe some eyes if you're lucky. Okay, okay, so. These are troublemakers. They look for people who are strong in yin energy and weak in yang energy. Who are such people? Are you such people? High in yin energy and low in yang energy? Yes, Andres.
Is that like depressed people?
Yes, depressed people are very high in yin energy. Yes. Okay. Yin energy is on the negative side, if you will. So darkness and so forth. You look at people who are depressed, you see there's a dark energy enveloping their heads. Okay. So those are the people that will draw this Kumbanda ghosts to them during the sleep. And my estimate is that at least 50% of the people in the world are depressed, experience depression. Okay, minor ones, if you include all the minor ones, it's more than 50%. Okay, so they are a lot more prevalent. They're pervasive. They're everywhere. Okay, and they like to bully the weak and fear the strong. And also one thing that for those of you who say, oh, how I don't have to worry about because I'm not a yin person at all. Yin people, like, they scheme, they lie, they pretend, they have things to hide. You know, those such people, they will get visits from the Kumbanda ghosts, for sure. Yes.
So if someone's high in yin energy, what's someone who's high in yang energy like?
They're not lawyers. Any lawyer here today? Online? Okay. Here's how it is. Personally, when I meet yin people, I'm not comfortable. They're not comfortable around me. They kind of keep the meeting short. They don't like it. Yin people have this dark energy, this darkness. They don't like light. Yang people are light. When we practice Chan, we yang. We bring brightness. Okay. So that's why it's very easy. The yin people are not comfortable around you. Okay, and they draw these Kumbandas ghosts at night, and they can't tell you about it either. Okay, all right. Now we go into these 10 representative leaders of the Kumbanda. They were Kumbanda, king growth and development. Okay. Commentary 522. Kumbanda, king growth and development. You know, we are in human realm and we are watching over us and keeping a bunch of ghosts and spirits in check are the 4 heavenly kings, the 4 of them, okay? And so these 4 kings are in charge of, each king is in charge of 2 types of ghosts. It's not surprising then these 4 heavenly kings are actually one of such a ghost type, okay? So the ghosts, they are kept in check by the 4 heavenly kings who are actually transformation bodies of the Bodhisattvas. Okay, in particular, in the south, in a southern direction, there's a king, a heavenly king by the name of growth and development. He happens to be a Kumbanda ghost. Okay, so they come and harass you at night. Okay, and they also are in charge of the pretas. Okay, the pretas are the ones that confuse you. They take on different forms to confuse you, meaning that they typically take on animal shapes. Okay, they see animals and transforms them into animals. So animals in the form, for example, yellow foxes or yellow wolves. Or the Chinese are known for it, Ho Tin, the fox spirits. Chinese people? Oh, no Chinese people here. Taiwanese people heard of the fox spirits. Okay, that's a form of the preta. Is this a scorpion? Cha is a scorpion, right? Okay, and they what they do is they bewitch you so that you become confused. Okay, so they transform themselves to cause confusion. Okay, bewitch you. Okay, so the leader of them all is this heavenly king of the south, ruling the south. All right. 523, Kumbanda, king dragon ruler.
龙主鸠盘茶王
Okay. 524, commentary. This particular Kumbanda king is actually in charge of dragons as well. Okay. Go figure. It's Kumbanda, a ghost that rules the dragons. See, it's inconceivable when you think about it. Okay, meaning like a pale face ruling over Thailand jungle. Anyone seen Apocalypse Now? Same thing, similar concept. What's that movie, Last King in Africa? Michael Caine. The man will be king. Man of my heart. He's so cultured. Okay? A white guy going over to rule over Africa continent. Okay? So, South Africa. I'm not trying to cause problems here. Okay. So this ghost here actually is a king. A ghost king here actually rules over dragons. 525. Kumbanda king skilled at adorning banners.
善庄严床鸠盘茶王
So instead, 526, instead of causing troubles, okay, once you become a king, now you do things that are beneficial. When you're a ghost, okay, you cause trouble. And over time, as you cultivate, these ghosts live a long, long, long time. And over time, okay, they get under the guidance of these kings. Okay, these kings actually are watching over these troublemakers and guide them towards the right path. So eventually, they become yang energy. The ghosts, these kumbana, the yin energy. And over time, through the guidance of cultivation under these kings, the ruler kings, they become yang energy, okay? And eventually climb up the ladder and become a king themselves, okay? And this king here, his specialty is to adorn banners, okay? 527, Kumbana king universally magnanimous practice.
普饶异行鸠盘茶王
Okay, you see, from this king now, 528, from a troublemaker, Kumbana, trying to harm people, occasionally killing people, okay? Now this king here, his practice is that as a king, he magnanimous practices, meaning that he benefits all living beings everywhere. Okay, so when there's a chance to benefit living beings everywhere in his, in his domain, okay, in his range, then his territory, then he benefits them, okay. And as you can imagine, his territory spans, many galaxies, countless galaxies. They're very influential, okay. So they practice Rao Yi, so to do anything that is beneficial for living beings, anything at all, everywhere. Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. When you mention the countless galaxies, is that what we're seeing when we see the new images from the Webb telescope?
Yes. You're only seeing a grain of sand's worth of the universe through that telescope. It's nothing to get excited about. I'm sorry. I know deflating for you scientists and world leaders. Oh, we are, we look to the future and we're going where no man has gone before. And we're supposed to get excited over it? We Buddhists are supposed to get excited? Please, okay. So, Pu here is universal, meaning it benefits everywhere, all over the universe, everywhere. Okay? Even places where the Webb telescope can't even see. 529, Kumbanda king most terrifying.
甚可怖畏鸠盘茶王。
Most terrifying. Okay? And so this Kumbanda king here has, it looks very terrifying. You really believe that? No. It's not the only way. This is how the Chinese see it, but that's not true. Okay, this is for the Chinese people. They say it's terrifying because the face, you look at the face and you're just scared. But my personal experience, I'm more terrified of people who laugh at me, who smile at me, especially women. They smile at you, oh, am I in trouble? Does it make sense to you? Terrifying doesn't necessarily mean facial features. Terrifying is, see, that's why I disagree with the Chinese interpretation a little bit. Okay, terrifying is internal. It's not outside at all. You justify your terror, your fear, okay, by external things. That's how we communicate with each other. But terrifying is a feeling. Yes, it's internal. So this Kumbanda king to me is terrifying by his mere presence. You don't need to see him. Okay, he's in behind the pillar there, and you still, what happened to me today? My mind is not at ease. What am I scared of? Okay, that's what happened to this terrifying Kumbanda king. He comes near you, okay, or he's in close enough, you become terrified. Okay, 531. Kumbanda king handsome with beautiful eyes.
美目端严鸠盘茶王。
And here in 532 commentary, the eyes are very alluring, okay, and he's have very handsome features as well. So clearly, this is very attractive, features-wise, but also again, the real attraction is also this magnetism that draws you in, okay? Not just the features alone. It's a magnet. These people are like magnets. They draw you in, right? 533. Kumbanda king wisdom like a high peak.
高峰会鸠盘茶王。
534 commentary. This wisdom here that is so lofty, like a tall mountain. So wisdom is often associated with a couple of things. When you have wisdom, you have light, meaning that the wisdom, actually, people who have wisdom, actually, when they look at something, it's like you shine a bright light at something. Okay? That's what happens. So that's what wisdom is associated with, the light. Okay? The light will illuminate things, so you see things very clearly. Meaning what? Why do you illuminate? You don't know that. You need to illuminate because the ghosts and the troublemakers are using the black energy, the darkness, to cover things from you. So this light wisdom can shine through the black energy, if you will. Does it make sense to you? Okay, these troublemakers, wherever they are, they have this black energy with them. Okay, so they stick around it, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how strong they are. These people who are enlightened, they have the wisdom. They're able to shine through it. They cannot be stopped if they wish to shine through. Okay, these ghosts have no way of stopping them, blocking that energy. Impossible. Is that clear? So that's why the wisdom is associated with light. When they choose to illuminate, okay, then the black energy, okay, the dark energy, the darkness cannot cover up. They shine through that. So it's not only for themselves, but also for us in particular. Does it make sense? And the number two thing that wisdom is associated with as well is loftiness. When you have wisdom, you are no longer ordinary. You have great wisdom, you're at the peak, at the top. So therefore, your demeanor is different. Your value system are much more lofty. Okay, and that's why this king Kumbanda here is Kumbanda king here. His wisdom is very, very high, very lofty, like a high mountain. Okay, that people revere and respect his wisdom, his virtues. 535, Kumbanda king, robust arms.
永见必鸠盘茶王。
Okay, 536. Clearly, this Kumbanda king here works out a lot, which I think is a good idea. I feel that the Chinese and the Vietnamese and especially Tibetan, shall we say Tibetan? Is that okay? They wear short. They don't have sleeves here. Yeah, so they're perfect for today, a day like today here in Los Angeles, where it's very, very hot. It's 90 degrees. So this is where I personally wish I follow Tibetan tradition where I have no sleeves at all. Okay? And some consequences. We have to worry about the armpit hair. I'm talking with you, he said, nuns, right? I don't know what to do about that, okay? But we're not going to discuss that. I'm more interested in the arms. And I feel that Tibetans should be working out a little bit more. Then, because it makes sense because you're showing your arms. Whereas for us, I've been working out like crazy, but I have to go like this. You can't even see my biceps, my triceps. This morning I have to let Bao Bao feel it and say, oh yeah. Okay, so this guy here is very, very powerful, can lift a lot of things, and his arms so powerful that he can lift extremely heavy weapons. Okay. 537. Kumbanda king's eyes resembling flowers of boundless purity.
无边净华眼，鸠盘茶王。
Okay. 538. Okay. Flowers can be pure. Okay. What are pure flowers? Can you name a flower that's pure? Yes, Andres.
Lotus,
Lotus is pure.
maybe.
See how quickly he adapts, with my fierce eyes, he's, oh, maybe. Yes, 4.
The flowers in the hands and eyes.
Okay. And how are those flowers pure? Okay. We read a lot. They have these names mentioned everywhere, but no one ever asked me. That's why I've been waiting patiently for the last 6 months of someone to ask me, Master, what is a pure flower? How much it costs? And since no one dared ask because you're all becoming yellow-faced, the yellow people don't ask, impertinent questions. Yes, white. 4.
Thank you, Master. I suspect there may be something lost in translation when it says eyes like pure flower, but as a resident of Pasadena, California, and the Rose Bowl, the closest smell I've experienced to Sharira is when the roses are blooming. So that's what I think of as pure flower, roses.
The roses are pure flowers. Okay? Anyone else who doesn't live in Pasadena? Yes, 7. This guy's from San Diego, whose house prices are appreciating like crazy nowadays. They become a multi-millionaire now.
I still have to live somewhere, though. Thank you, Master. I would guess maybe a flower that's growing from the Pure Land.
Flower from the Pure Land?
Or a Pure Land.
Or a Pure Land? So meaning that the flowers here in the Sahara world are not pure? So it sounds like only flowers in San Diego are pure. Right, mine's your yard. Yeah, what are pure flowers? Someone, huh? Someone, what's a pure flower? Yes, Andres. 4.
The ones behind you right now.
The ones behind me right now, they're from Home Depot. I'm told. I assure you, nothing but Home Depot is pure. Yes, 7.
Could it be flowers that are adorning the Buddha?
Flower adorning the Buddha. Original. Very good. Getting closer. Huh? Yeah. How can a flower be pure? Seriously. How can a flower be pure? You thought about it? How can a flower be pure? Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. If the flower grew in Vajra, then I think it would be pure.
Flower, vows, and Vajra. Vajra cannot grow flowers, my friend. Have you tried to grow flowers in Vajra, or are you just speaking from nonsense? Vajra cannot grow flowers. Yes, sir, in the back. 3.
May I ask how flower becomes impure?
Flowers become what?
Impure. Aren't they all pure from earth? Everything's pure?
Everything is pure.
I would hope so.
You're from Canada, I don't know, the US is different.
Yeah.
Flowers are impure, as far as I remember. Yes, the person destined for the Pure Land. She determined. She said, I'm going to Pure Land, I don't care what you guys say. Yes.
Bông sen là chỉ có là Phật ngồi bông sen là tịnh nhất thôi.
He says lotus flower because it's the purest flower.
Phật thầy.
You guys believe anything you told. I mean, this is incredible. Yes, 7. Come on.
Thank you, Master.
Grow up.
Maybe a flower is just a flower, but it depends what are you offering the flowers to.
Okay. Following that logic, he says flowers is a flower. You offer it to, and something happens, the flower becomes pure. Same reason, rationale, same lines of reasoning. I take excrement and I offer and becomes pure. Colombians, I mean, yes, 4.
Well, actually,
Actually, I don't mean to raise your hand.
if a bodhisattva illuminated a flower and contemplated and illuminated it, then it would be a pure flower, right?
Are you asking or are you saying?
I'd say that if a Buddha or a bodhisattva illuminated the flower, then it would be pure. Or if a flower was...
Are you sure?
No, but it's a educated guess.
Raise your hand when you're sure. Next. Huh? Okay, way in the back.
Master, I think it's not the flower, it's the person that become pure that resemble of a flower.
A person becomes pure instead of being a human being, becomes a flower. How original.
It resembles the flower.
A person now, human being becomes a flower. Flower girl. 4.
Thank you, Master.
N'importe quoi. And that's nonsense.
I think
in French.
Je ne sais pas, mais I think that any flower that the old monk planted at a way place, whether it was Lu Mountain Temple, Way Mountain Temple, Gold Forest, or Dharma Treasury, would be a pure flower.
You know the expression, 胡说八道? Okay, look it up. Yes, 7.
After reading that over again, I'm wondering, is it possible it doesn't literally mean flowers, but maybe light or colors of light?
This is a different state. This is why I asked you to show how inferior your knowledge is. It's too bad. You're only 5 or 6 of you here tonight, okay? But I imagine, if I were to lecture this in let's say, auditorium university, I ask all these fancy professors and say, professor, great professor, number 1 professor in Buddhology and whatever, I would love to ask them, dear professor, how can a flower be pure? I mean, you see this everywhere in the Avatamsaka Sutra, pure flower, pure lotus, pure whatever. How does a lotus become pure? How does a flower become pure? Are they different from our flowers, our lotuses? Because my lotuses I look at, they're not pure. There are ants all over them. Have you made up your mind now? Are you sure now, Andres? If you're sure, okay, then don't raise your hand. Huh? Wouldn't you like, it wouldn't be cool that you have all these distinguished professors of Buddhology, you know? Why would they come listen to me anyway? But imagine that's the case. I ask, would you mind telling me, professor, you know, esteemed professor, what is a pure flower after all? How would you explain that? Yes, 9.
Emily said Buddha's flowers. Jesus said flowers are produced by the spiritual penetrations of bodhisattvas.
Here's what happens. Okay, you need to understand this. When we offer flowers to the Buddhas, are they pure? Are they pure? You don't know where they're from. How are they grown? They have fertilizers. You got to affect the purity of flower, yes? So how can those flowers be pure? Impossible, right? So how can these bodhisattvas have pure flowers? And that's their world. They're different from ours. You see that? These are the bodhisattvas. They're enlightened. So their mind is free from anger, from greed, from stupidity. That's purity, right? Purity is the absence of anger, greed, and stupidity. Is that clear? Purity is not lack of dust and dirt. Okay, purity refers to lack of greed, anger, and stupidity, the 3 poisons. Is that clear? That's a Buddhist definition. That's why I love to ask the professor, you know so much about Buddhism, so can you explain to me what a pure flower is? Huh? Okay, you can't even tell me that, then Andres is not sure about that. Okay, so purity is lack of greed, anger, stupidity. How can a flower be pure? Are flowers free from greed, anger, stupidity? Of course they're not. They're insentient beings. Right? See the logic? They're just flowers. How can they classify them as free from greed, anger, stupidity? You cannot say that the flowers in the Pure Land they are pure. How do you know? Okay? So how can you classify the flower as pure? Because they are created from the lack of greed, anger, and stupidity. That's how they arise from. They don't need fertilizers. They don't need anything. Okay? And this is refers to these flowers here. If you want specifics, then these are the flowers that are conjured up by the bodhisattvas to offer to Buddhas. Bodhisattvas are free from the 3 poisons, correct? At those levels, at their levels, they're able to conjure up flowers. I need a bouquet to bring to the Buddha. Boop! Bouquet comes out. We just recited this morning the Universal Door chapter 25 of Lotus Sutra. Remember when this Wu Jinyi, what's English? Wu Jinyi Pusa, boundless intention Bodhisattva, the protagonist in this chapter, he says, "Oh, I want to make an offering to Wanyin Bodhisattva." Okay, so he and all of a sudden a necklace appeared in his hands. He doesn't carry a necklace around. You understand? But when he says, "I want to make an offering of a priceless necklace," it appears because of his blessings. Is that clear? The necklace appears because That's the nature of his blessings. It's invaluable. It only shows when he needs it. He doesn't have to carry the necklace around like Kinnick. Kinnick says, "Ooh, today I'm going to Way Mountain Temple. I want to look good, so I better, bring my necklace." But since her part of San Diego is kind of risky, so that's not wear it. Let's carry it with me and go to the temple and then put it on before I walk into the temple. It's safer. You see what I mean? You see, I know I'm exaggerating a little bit. The point is that these beings have so many blessings. They only appear when they need it. They don't need to carry it just in case, wait until they get to the temple, get near the Buddha, and offer the Buddha. No, as soon boundless intention, measureless intention, infinite intentions, Bodhisattva decided to make an offering to the Buddha, to Wanyin Bodhisattva. He says, "Oh, I need to make an offering." And immediately a necklace appears in his hand, right? And this necklace here is priceless. It's more expensive than the price to go to the Pure Land. It's more expensive than it costs you when you get to the Pure Land to become a Buddha. Can you believe that? So this is priceless necklace. And so when he gave that necklace to Wanyin Bodhisattva, he's broke. That's it. Okay? So that's how they are. That's purity. They don't say, maybe I should only give the Wanyin Bodhisattva half of my fortune, like Gu Yin, who says, Gu Yin, I have 2 sons, 1 daughter, so I should give only 1/4 or everything I have, at least some for my children. Okay? These Bodhisattva, they don't calculate like you, like us. Because being calculating is greedy, right? And so he offered his necklace, his priceless, probably his entire blessing, his entire fortune. Boom! Just like that. But the difference is that, okay? The point I try to point out to you, wealth, true wealth, is not what you carry in your wallet, what card you have. Okay? True wealth only appears when you need it. What? You're not impressed? Please. Contrary to popular belief, true wealth for worldly people is like he's a trillionaire, he's a billionaire, and so forth. Okay? True wealth in Buddhism is you cannot see. Only appears when you want to. Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. So then, the money Elon Musk cashed out of Tesla to buy Twitter would not be true wealth.
Yeah, it's worth about 1 grain of sand in the scheme of things. So remember, these Mahasattvas, okay, they when they want to make an offering and in the form of something very adorned, so think of necklaces, like boundless intention Bodhisattva. On this case here, Kumbanda king here, he wants to adorn a way place. So you think of flowers to adorn things, okay? And so because of his purity of his heart, see, someone almost got it, but he got sidetracked. The flowers here are from 2 things. They come about from 2 things. Number 1, purity, okay, of the mind. And number 2, the desire to adorn. So not only are they pure, they're extremely, extremely adorned, extremely beautiful. So here, flowers, boundless purities they're not translating the boundless, the incredible beauty of these flowers that arise from the purity of the heart. Okay, and furthermore, the eyes resembling flowers of boundless purity. And so, for this particular Kumbanda king here, you look into his eyes, you see such incredible beauty and incredible purity. It's not like the eyes resemble flowers like somebody said earlier. Okay? In your heart, in your mind, when you look at his eyes, wow, the eyes are so beautiful. Anyone? Ever looked into someone's eyes? Oh, your eyes are so beautiful. Like flowers of boundless purity. Friends Wei Yang. Don't you remember? Yes, for.
Thank you, Master. Like, taking a step back, I find this Kumbanda king to be quite a juxtaposition of imagery, because on one hand you have this like barrel-shaped, armless, legless ghost that approaches yin people.
Yeah, and Hassan has only one arm, robust arms, with huge triceps.
Yeah, he does a lot of dips.
Yeah, and they're different.
But then on the other hand, they have the most beautiful eyes emitting boundless light. I mean, it just seems like
it should be named Cyclop.
I just putting it together seems like, I don't know, bizarre or beautiful or somewhere in between.
Yeah. This is how this Kumbanda king chooses to manifest itself, because he's tired of people condemning him. Oh, look at that barrel-shaped thing. So every time I'm near you, you look at me, and you only see my eyes resembling flowers of boundless purity. You don't see a barrel-shaped ghost anymore. How's that?
So then, is this Kumbanda king, is he protecting and trying to liberate the yin people who he presents himself in front of? Is that who he's protecting?
Yeah, he's leading. You're a king because you try to take care of your subjects and help your subjects in liberating themselves into particular beings here. Okay. The presidents and prime ministers of our times try to help the country become richer and stronger. These Kumbanda kings here help their subjects attain liberation. Okay? They're different. So they choose to manifest different things to draw those people. So clearly, for the subjects of the Kumbanda king here, they're very drawn to beautiful eyes that resemble flowers of purity. Does it make sense? That's what draws them. Remember, each king must have something that draws the people. 539, and Kumbanda king Asura eyes and visage vast as heaven.
广大天面阿修罗眼，鸠盘茶王。
540, and the 10th Kumbanda king is by the name Asura eyes. Asura eyes, meaning that the eyes are very scary, glaring. You look at the eyes, his eyes, you terrified. You know that he's going to come for your blood. He's there to kill you, to harm you, to fight you. Okay, so he's looking forward to fighting you, beating you up, maiming you, all that things. So you look at his eye, you know, oh boy, am I going to suffer? Okay, and it visits as fast as heaven. So it's a huge face. He must be pretty fat. Anyone? Okay, this is, we're talking obese, beyond obese. 541. These and others acted as leaders of a countless number of Kumbandas.
如是等而为上首，其数无量。
542. So they're representatives, just 10 representatives of countless leaders of the universe. Okay. 543. And they all diligently cultivated a Dharma door of non-obstruction, emitted brilliant light.
皆勤修学无碍法门，放大光明。
Okay. 544. What are they cultivating now? As Kumbanda kings now? Now they're big shot. Okay. What Dharma door are they practicing? They're practicing the Dharma door of non-obstruction, and they emit brilliant light. Okay. What is a Dharma door non-obstruction? The kings already. Why would they worry about non-obstruction? You think that once you become a king, you can have it your way. So why would you worry about non-obstruction? No? Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. I think because they're ruling over the Kumbandas who already have countless obstructions, so if they can just present them with a Dharma door that they can see and walk through, they can remove all the obstructions and help liberate those Kumbandas.
Nice try, but no cigars. Okay, anyone else? What's non-obstruction? Yes, 4.
This is confusing to me because it seems
it should be.
It seems the Kumbanda ghosts obstruct people as their profession.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the kings practice non-obstruction, and their subjects are professional obstructors?
Very observant. Very good. So are you asking a question or are you answering me? But I asked you first. What happened to all the online people? They only ask what they want to ask. They don't want to answer what I want to ask. Non-obstruction. Okay. It's interesting because the kings, I remember, I don't know, you remember when you were kings? Many of you were kings and queens and so forth. And when you're a king, you know, it's not about non-obstruction. Yet you become a king because you get what you want. Okay? You have it your way. At McDonald's. This is what people do, you know, you slide in, you know, like, oh, I feel so hot today. How about a cup of coffee? Thank you. So non-obstruction to rule, okay? It's interesting because they, instead of forcing them their way to be king and ordering people around, okay, non-obstruction means that they have the ability to look at you, and see what you want. And they facilitate that. They do things that they avoid doing things that will obstruct you in getting what you want. Does it make sense? So the roles are reversed. You have the wisdom. That's why they know what's important to you. They know what you need. And therefore, they facilitate that. It requires a lot of wisdom. Okay? What about you want the wrong things? Happens. Huh? How do you practice non-obstruction to those who want the wrong things? You see? Yeah? How do you practice? Yes, four.
Well, maybe that's who he sends the Kumbanda ghosts to. The people who want the wrong things.
Maybe. Okay, maybe. Maybe so. Anyone? Does it make sense to practice non-obstruction to those who are trying to do the wrong things? How is it wisdom? If they're doing the wrong things and you don't obstruct them, how is it wisdom? How is it helping? Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. I was wondering, if you have wisdom, though, you could probably offer them something that's even more appealing than what they want.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes? Maybe?
Yeah, it's hard to have a definitive answer most of the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's classified as a maybe answer.
Well, it could lead to a learning experience if you let people make their own mistakes.
Maybe. Yes, 2.
Master, I wonder if by emitting the brilliant light, there's no longer the obstruction, and then they're able to give them what they really want.
This is important for you to understand, okay, how these bodhisattvas function. Anyone? Okay? It doesn't mean, when I first learned about Mahayana at Master Srinivas temple, I was told, that we're practicing a bodhisattva practice, therefore, whatever they want, we give. Okay? You can't say no. They want stupid things, you give it to them. And I said, that's kind of hard for me to do. You want a gun to go kill someone, you still give them a gun? Is that wisdom? Seriously? And you enlightened? Huh? Spy number 1. Huh? Is it okay to give, people ask for things, you give it to them because you're bodhisattva and you give it to them? That's what we told. That's what I was told by his big disciples. Says, we're practicing bodhisattva path. Whatever people want to ask, no matter how stupid, absurd they are, we have to give it to them. And I struggled with that for many, many years. Yes, 8.
Mô Phật và Thầy, giống cái điều người ta xin mình làm Bồ Tát đạo đó, mình hành Bồ Tát đạo đó, người ta xin cái gì mình cho không phải như gì đâu, càng khó thêm nữa, càng nhìn cho kỹ, chứ không phải là người ta xin cái gì cho người ta là mình thấy là không ấy rồi.
Yeah, of course not. That's why Why are you doing, speaking Dharma nonsense? Dharma is like that. It causes confusion. I said, and it made me very discouraged because I said, I can't function like this. I just don't see myself doing this. I know it's nonsense. I'm still supposed to give it to them anyway? Seriously? There's no wisdom in there. When you told to accord with living beings, because when you do that, it will open your wisdom. But I don't see myself giving a gun to someone who's going to go kill someone else because it's wisdom. It will open my wisdom. I just can't envision how it's going to help me unfold my wisdom. Okay? Yeah. So, of course not. It's just non-obstruction means that. So what does non-obstruction mean? Non-obstruction means that whatever you do, whether you accord with them or not accord with them, they still believe that you're on their side. You're not obstructing them. Does it make sense? It's called wisdom because you can say no, you can say yes, it doesn't matter. You say, oh, you're helping me, you're on my side. Oh, you are so good to me. Does it make sense? It's not a blind thing. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Okay? It's about non-obstruction is that the person you're trying to help feels that you are on their side. Is that clear? And that's very important to establish when you're trying to help someone. You don't butt heads. You don't say, no, my way. I'm the king. I'm the mom. You don't do that. Okay? Unless they're hurting themselves. Yes. You have to stop them. There are always exceptions. Okay? But in general, they feel you are on their side. You're not obstructing them at all. Does it help? You don't have to be a Kumbanda king to do that. You start now. That's how you become a Kumbanda king later in the future. You learn how to function in a non-obstructive way with people around you. Because remember, the concept of non-obstruction is that it's not about you. You're not that important. What's important is your role is to help others get what they want. Is that clear? It's not like you say, I got to have it my way. My way or the highway. That's little bush style. We're not like that, okay? We are kings. We're not small presidents or short presidents. Sound like I'm anti-Republican, doesn't it? Why are Republicans so short? It's not my fault. The presidents they've been electing are so short. Never mind. Okay. So the point here is that you're helping. The purpose of a king here. This is very interesting concept. You're king. There are king Kumbanas, Kumbana kings. And yet, how they function as a king, the role as a king, is to not obstruct their subjects. Meaning, their role is to help the subjects get what they want. Really make them believe they're on their sides, to help them get what they want. And what they want is very beneficial for them. Because I, as a king, Kumbana king, look at you and say, okay, you want that way, let me stir you. So that you're just a little bit, just a little bit off. Okay? So nudge you a little bit so that you're in the right direction. And yet you don't notice that you're being nudged. That's what they do. They don't ever obstruct. They don't confront you head on, say, no, you stupid, and so forth. But they nudge. That's non-obstruction from a king's perspective. Imagine, I don't know, you watch Chinese movies at all, you have this king, emperor sitting on the throne here, you have your prime ministers and ministers, and you have to nudge them, the bunch of them, in the right directions. Yes? It's fascinating. You think that cultivation is, you cultivate, you sit behind the four walls, or I meditate? No. At their levels, they go and they work as a king. That's their cultivation. Is that clear? They cultivate by living a normal life as a king, as a queen, whatever. Okay? It's a fascinating world. It's not like in Mahayana, the cultivation is in the cities, in the kingdoms. It's not, in a mountain or behind the four walls of a temple. That's losers. Yes, 3.
Would that be the king is really unlimited, being unlimited, infinite to help all people seeking
his subjects, yes.
It's like more really inclusive for infinitely.
I don't know about infinitely, because they have limits. That's why they're only Kumbanda kings. Okay? Because they have this domain, this territory. When they take care of it, they refine their practices. Okay? They still have limits. The range is limited. Not quite unlimited yet. Okay, anyone else? Okay. And we're not talking about kings yet. We're talking about you at home as well, within your family, your husband, your children, your wife, and so forth. Okay? You start with non-obstruction. Don't fight, but nudge. Okay? And that's what yellow-faced people should do. They live in big families. It's nudging. Yes, number 3. I think he's inspired to give a lecture to his patients now. Bosco is so excited. So, I know what you should do with your difficult husband. Nudge him. Don't obstruct him.
Sorry, Master. This reminds me, can I preach a little bit of Bible?
Sure, why not?
He's
a Bible person.
No,
Bible specialist.
No, Emitofuo, no. This one reminds me of something similar to the prodigal son.
Prodigal son?
Did I say it right? Prodigal son?
Prodigal son.
Did I say it right? Maybe I need to double check with Vicky.
And remind me of the tale, the prodigal son again. It's too Catholic, we're Buddhists, What's a prodigal son story?
I need Daniel.
So you're quoting something you're not sure about?
Maybe it's like it was maybe so it's like fighting for the property, something like that, and then there's 2 sons, brothers, and fighting for the properties, and then the one of the sons say to the fathers, "Hey, I want half of your money, properties," and then the other son, and then just leave and going for fun, and then spending all the money.
Which one is the prodigal son? Huh? The one who wants everything, or the one who wants to have fun?
No, I'm not as a theologian, right? But it's
one.
Yeah. Mary Jo's.
Yeah, Mary Jo is going to help you.
Professional courtesy.
So the way I remember it is that this man was quite a wealthy landowner, and he had 3 sons. 2 stayed and tried to work the land to try to get their share, and the 3rd son went off to be in the world and didn't want any part of it and was gone for many years. And the 2 sons that were left were very excited because now it was only going to get divided up between 2
instead of 3, yes.
But then the son that left came back. And
that's a prodigal son.
Yes.
And brought many wives.
The father was so pleased to see him that he returned and was giving him all this attention and praise. And the other 2 sons got very jealous because he'd been gone. And why was he getting all this attention? And it was just about the return of the son that was...
Return of the Jedi.
He returned and was able to get an equal portion. So, there was all this sort of competition with the 3 sons over that.
And the moral of the story is, it's okay to goof off?
Yeah. The father loved and missed that son and didn't feel the family was complete without him. And when he came back, he felt complete and whole. So I think it's about, about that familial sort of love and inclusiveness.
Okay, and number 4.
Thank you.
Let's complete the story. So why is it prodigal?
If I remember the story,
You guys are horrible Catholics. It is so embarrassing. You have no culture whatsoever. I have an excuse. You can't. You don't. Yes, 4.
The father, the son of the father, he was asking the father for the money that was belonged to him before his dad died. So the father was like, okay, I'm going to give you your money.
The prodigal son.
Yeah, and he went away, and he spent all the money in alcohol, in women, and things. And then he was having like a really, really bad time.
He went and spent money on booze and women, and he had a bad time? Oh,
no, he spent
serves
all
him
the
right.
money. He spent all the money, and at the end, he didn't have any money left. So he was working with the pigs and things like that. It was really bad. And at the end, he was like, no, I'm just going to go back with my dad. Let's see what happens. So
and live up my dad, yes.
So when he got back home, the dad was like so happy. He was like, he made like a big feast for him. So the other sons, they were like, hey, you know what is happening?
So they killed him?
No,
Can we get to the point? What is the matter with you? You can't tell the story in 3 sentences?
Not that one, Pastor.
Okay, and so the other 2 were jealous and unfair. They feel it's unfair.
And they said to the dad, like, hey, dad, this is not fair. Like, he went out, he spent all the money, he hasn't been working the land like we have been. And the dad said, like, it's okay, the black sheep or the sheep that was lost, it's back home now. So that's the moral of the story.
So the moral story is, I need a clear conclusion. I hate it when you watch movies and what happened? What happened to the hero? Did he live ever happily after? Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master.
Now the 4th, remember.
The moral of the story is you can go off and be an idiot, come back home, and Daddy will take care of you.
And that's supposed to be a lesson somewhere in Catholicism?
Yeah, because in the metaphor is that God is the Father, so you're going to go off and you're going to be an idiot and you're going to sin. You come back to God, He'll take care of you.
Ah, I see. Buddhism, we're not like that. I tell you right now, dream on, it ain't going to happen. Okay? Sayonara. Nice knowing you. He said, why you been here waiting for me to reassure you that if God does it, so will Buddha? Yes, 4.
No, Master. I already blew all my money. I'm trying to figure out how to.
That's why you got married. Is that similar, all the same way? Jewel Conk.
안 들려요.
안 들려요. YongHua. Oh, it's been a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, he
Master.
got up at this early,
구반다
5 o'clock in the morning.
무예본문 닦는 것을 이제 도움을 이제 준다고 하셨는데, 그러니까 사람들의 편에서 사람들이 얻을 수 있는 거를 what they get, what they want. 역으로 이제 그 예를 들어 수행자가 어리석은 생각으로 이제 수행에 도움이 되지 않는 짓을 하려고 할 때 그것을 역설적으로 이제 막는 것도 이제 어떻게 보면은 그런 이제 구반다의 이제 무예본문을 도와주는 행위라고 볼 수 있을지 여쭙고 싶습니다. 가령 뭐 이제 수행을 주말에 가서 수행을 해야 되는데 수행 안 하고 이제 막 가령 이제 놀러 가려고 그런다든지 가령 이제 비근한 예로 그래서 그런 걸 이제 막아주는 것도 이제 못하게 하는 것도 역으로 이제 그 무예본문의 행위라고 볼 수 있을지 여쭙고 싶습니다.
Master, I want to go back to that non-obstruction, the Dharma door of non-obstructions. So, for example, you said this king will give what they want and not obstructing them. And for example, there's a cultivator, he's cultivating, but he's trying to do something that it's not helpful for his cultivation. For example, he's doing some stupid act. On the weekend, he should go and cultivate, but instead he wants to play. So if somebody shows up and stop that behavior, is it something to do with that non-obstruction Dharma door?
Not necessarily. The only exception, as I said, is that when they try to hurt themselves physically, for example, kill themselves, you cannot accord with them. Okay? Like they say, I want to kill myself, so you say, here's my gun, go ahead and use it. Okay? But other than that, another obstruction here is that when you help them, they feel that you're not obstructing them at all. That's a skill that these kings have. When they help their subjects, they feel that the kings are on their sides. That's the main thing. Okay, so it's psychology. Maybe they have a degree in psychology. I don't know. But the point here is that this is advanced Bodhisattva practices. When you help people, it feels like they're getting their ways, but actually you're guiding them, imperceptibly. And that's a very advanced Bodhisattva practice. Remember when we talk about Mahayana practices, what are Mahayana practices? 6, right? The 6 paramitas: giving, morality, patience, vigor, concentration, and wisdom. Only 6, right? So where does non-obstruction fall into? Vigor? Number 3? She's the first one. When I went, I said, oh. and it's so fast. You have a dirtier mind than me. Okay, so vigor. Agree? What else? 7.
Oh.
Why is it vigor? Give them a chance. When they're thinking, not me. I ain't voting for vigor. Huh? Why is it vigor? Non-obstruction. Why is it vigor? Three. I'm pointing at three. Huh? What is it then? Never mind. Well, let them think. Which paramita is this? Non-obstruction. Which one is it? Remember, first one is to give. When you practice Mahayana cultivation, you give. That's number one. Number two is you observe morality, be a moral person. Number three, your patience. Okay? You practice to be more patient. Number four, you practice to be more vigorous. Number five, you practice to increase your concentration. Number six, you practice to improve your wisdom. You are a great problem solver. Yes, number seven. So what is non-obstruction? What does it fall into? 7.
Thank you, Master. I was thinking if this is a Bodhisattva practice, there are 4 other, I believe, paramitas above those. So I was thinking it would involve
number 7. Okay, it's okay. Let me complete it for you. So that's 6, right? Okay, 7 is expedience. Okay, number 8. Check my fingers first so that I don't hurt myself. There's some, pretty dirty-minded people here. So, expedience, vows is 8. 9 is chu li. Intelligence. Number 10 is power. Okay? So far, so good. So which one are we talking about? You're not happy with 6, I give you 10. Which one? Yes. 5?
Master, I would say it involves all of them, but I would say skill and means plays a big role. I was going to say skill and means, or I guess that's expedience, but I would say that
skill and means.
In order to nudge people, and without them knowing it, that's quite a skill.
Skills, okay, very good. Anyone else? Who said vigor? Okay. Defend your untenable position. Why vigor? 3.
Because it keeps non-stop moving forward. It's a momentum, ongoing improvement, cultivation, and any obstacles will be breaking through.
I ain't paying to consult with you. Oh my God, that's vigor? And that's non-obstruction? How do you make the connection, for God's sake? I don't need a master's degree for that, a PhD for that. Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. I agree it's experience, because what you said, that they actually believe that you're helping them, that you're not obstructing them.
Okay, fine. There are 2 number 7, skill in means, and only one vigor. The number 2 dropped out as soon as they say what? Yes, 4. Go ahead, 4. Yeah, any 4.
Thank you, Master. I think it's patience.
So you change your position now?
That's my first position.
Your first position is patience. Okay, go ahead, Q&A.
Thank you, Master. I think it's wisdom, because it takes someone with the wisdom to know how much and when is the right time to nudge a little bit.
Very good. Can you do something for me? Ask your husband, is that repentance for breaking your ankle that he shaved his head?
Yes, I will ask him right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's wisdom. Okay.
Can I answer?
Yes, go ahead.
He's smiling, Master.
I'm smiling, oh yeah. Yes, 4.
I think it's giving, because you said non-obstruction is to help other people get what they want until they want to hurt themselves or hurt others, which at that point it is expedience. And I think that also requires morality and wisdom. So I think I would put it down to those 4.
You got 4 now, okay? He's hedging so much better nowadays. He says, I'm not sure, so maybe 4. Anyone else? Huh? Which non-obstruction? You don't obstruct people. What kind of practice is that? What kind of lifestyle is that? You see the difference here? For the Bodhisattvas, they come to our world in order to practice, to specialize in the practice of a particular paramita. They come to our world to practice giving, for example, so they give, okay? Give to the children, give to the husband, give to the, and the family, give to the mother, and so forth. Give. Okay, that's called giving paramita. You keep on giving. Okay, and at the end of the day, say, oh, I'm so tired, but they still want more from me. Sounds familiar? That's a giving paramita. Yeah. Are you depressed? So am I. I never have enough. Okay. But that's what is called giving paramita, because you have to keep on giving, and it's endless. Okay? It's never enough for them. Okay? That's why it's called paramita. It's infinite. If you're stupid enough to give, you have to keep on giving. So the Bodhisattvas do that. They appear in our world, and they keep on giving. That's it. And they don't ever complain, unlike us. We give, we say, oh, really? When is enough ever enough for you? They keep giving and they don't ever complain. Number 2 is they practice morality. They do all the right stuff. They don't do the bad stuff, okay? And which is tough. The temptation, all the temptations out there is, I'm not going to be tempted, okay? Number 3, they are patience, meaning to endure things that cannot be endured. They insult you, you have to endure it. They slander you, you endure it. Okay? You don't ever complain. You don't justify yourself. By the way, okay? Xian Fa, one of the things that's makes us more resilient, tougher, is to endure. Okay? And never justify ourselves. That's a rule of thumb in our Wei-Yang world. You don't justify yourself. They can believe whatever they want. They can slander you. They can abuse you. They can harm you because they're wrong. They have these false beliefs. Don't ever justify yourself. That's how tough we are. Okay? They cut the finger. Say, you are a thief. I cut your finger. I say, I still have 9 more. And then they cut all 10 fingers. Say, but how about my arm, my hands? So you undaunted, okay? So you patiently endure all the injustices, all the nonsense, okay? And that's called patience. It's a very tough thing to do. Or the Bodhisattvas also practice vigor. They work non-stop. They never rest. Never, ever. They don't say, oh, I work enough today. Let me take a break, and we see what happens tomorrow. No, they work until they drop. dead. Sound familiar? Okay? Number 5, they practice concentration. Okay? They hone the concentration. They're able to drop everything else and focus on one thing single-mindedly. It's called concentration. Nothing can distract them. Number 6, now they have the wisdom to be able to end what? Suffering. They know how to end suffering. They recognize what is suffering, they know how to end it. That's why it's called wisdom. Wise people have very good problem solvers. You have a problem, their solution is better than yours. Okay? That's wisdom. So they're great problem solvers, math problems, engineering problems, you're up there in terms of wisdom. Piece of cake. Okay? All right? And that's what happens when you say your samadhi level increases, your wisdom increases, you become incredible problem solvers. Whatever you do, at home, at work, in a mountain, whatever. Okay? Number 7. Skill in meaning that they use expedience to solve problems. Okay? Meaning that it's not what it seems to you. Okay? They're not, you perceive them a certain way, but they're not like that. They're actually opposite of what you perceive. They appear to be violent, but actually they are gentle souls. Okay? They're very gentle, actually they're very cruel. Okay? So experience, you don't know. You are fooled by appearances. That's number 7. Number 8 practice is vows. They make these infinite vows. They make vows, I will save you. I don't care if wherever you go, I will pursue you until I help you end all your suffering. Okay? And not only you, but also her and her and her and her and her and him and all these people. Infinite vows that boundless by time, boundless by geography, wherever you are, after this body, you go to another world, they follow you to another world to try to save you. So that's called vows. These vows are so vast, so infinite, they're so far-reaching. Okay? Why you make vows like that? To remove what? Maybe. To remove what? Colombia.
To remove limitations.
To turn your mind into infinite. Smart people are smart only because they bound themselves. Knowledge people are knowledgeable because it's only within a domain. Outside of that, they're stupid. Okay? They're good in engineering, they're good in the computer, they're good in medical practices, but outside of that, they're stupid. Okay? So vows is designed to practice the vow is to turn your mind into infinite. Remove the constraints you put on your own mind. Sounds familiar? That's what you do to yourself constantly. You limit yourself. And you forget to be all you can be. Did I give you an idea, Bosco, on how to make more money than just 20 patients? You can expand to 200 patients. Talk about releasing the power, unlimited power of the mind. The crazy minds. Huh? Okay? So that's why you do vows, to remove all constraints you impose on yourself. Because I look at you, and you, and you, and you, and you, you all are limiting yourself. This guy here says, I only believe in God. He says, did I walk into something here? Oh, you bet. You see? And that's what smart people do to themselves, which to their detriment. Their own detriment is that they restrict themselves. Okay? So that's number 8. What's vow number 9? I didn't mean not vow number 9. What is practice 9 practice? The 9 practice is, what's the 9 practice again? The 2 li. So smarts, they go into the worldly, the world, all the knowledge of the world, and enhance the knowledge of the world. Okay, 2 li. Okay? And then number 10 is power. Okay? They work on the biceps. Okay? So far, so good? So because it helps them carry more weight, more living beings. Okay? Because to help others is only one way to help others. Not by talking, by carrying them on your back. You can talk all you want, but eventually, to really help living beings, you have to carry them on your back. Think about it. You therapist people. You talk, but no. The real help, you have to carry them on the back. Does it make sense to you? This is why your patients don't ever improve, because all they do is talk. All you do is talk. You have to carry them. That's the only way. So far, so good? So those are the 10 paramitas. So what does non-obstruction belong to? All 10. Somebody's got the right idea, but it's too shy. I think it's all 10. But just in case, I believe it's expediency. That's a nice suntan. Is that cool? So my point being that the Bodhisattvas, they come to our world to practice giving, they practice purity, they practice patience, they practice vigor, they practice concentration, they practice wisdom and all those things, okay? And ultimately, in order to become a Buddha, they need to go beyond that. You go beyond the 10. So you don't necessarily practice one anymore, but you practice all 10. At the same time. Does it help? So losers, they say, I practice number 6. I practice number 3. Okay? Oh, that's low level. At the level of the Kumbanda kings, they practice all paramitas. That's why it takes them forever. Remember, these bodhisattvas, they come to our world, become a person, become a wife, become a husband, to practice only one paramita, like billions of years. Billions of years, one paramita. If you practice 10 paramitas at the same time, it takes forever. Do not hold your breath. So what happens? Can they say, oh, it's going to take a while, just hang on a minute. Okay? So what do they do then? They said, hey, what's the hurry? Let's go have a drink. I'll be back anyway, so... Yes. Andre?
How do we get a bodhisattva to help us nudge us in the right direction if we're going to do something wrong?
Good question. Take a number. Anyone else? Okay. We have a few more minutes. Can we go into the next ghost? Huh? Okay. Next group of Dharma protectors, they call Gandharva kings. Now, these beings are cool. 456. Moreover, there were countless Gandharva kings.
复有无量乾达婆王.
Okay, so these are Gandharvas. Okay. Isn't it amazing that Susan's family, because of Susan's husband, the kids now, the grandkids now learn about ghosts and spirits? Huh? Isn't it amazing? I wish I learned about this when I was younger so that I wouldn't do stupid things. Yeah? So anyway, Gandharvas is Xunxiang, meaning these spiritual beings. Their purpose in life is what? Sniff out fragrant things. Yeah, give me your hand. Oh, no, not quite. Yeah. How about your ears? Okay. Okay. So what they do is these spiritual beings, you cannot see them, kids, I assure you, okay? You have to take my word for it. There's such beings. They go to people's door after their mothers finish cooking. They smell the food aroma and they get excited and they make music. So they are actually musical spirits. The music is heavenly, okay? Very, very nice. And because the music they make is so good, people are happy to hear it, okay? And because people are happy, then they actually feed them, not just for them to inhale the fragrance of the food. They get to eat the food as well. So that's how the world works, okay? And what happens is that they are so skilled at making music that the Christian god, Daniel's boss, recognized them, and they would, the Jade Emperor, that's the king, the Christian king, would call them over, fetch them for entertainment. Okay? So it's nice to be up there in the heavens. Okay, you have tremendous food and tremendous music. What did it look like? The Gandharvas, they wear 8-sided crown. The hair emits light. The body the flesh is red color. Okay, like what's that guy with a horn? That movie. Hellboy, thank you. You are God sent. So I can say I'm so touched with your vast knowledge. Full body. This left hand holds a flute, and the right hand holds a jewel sword. Okay, so that's how they are. They exude strength and authority, very authoritative. So when you see Gandharva, that's how they look like. 549. Specifically, they were Gandharva king governing nations.
首位持国前踏婆王。
Okay, 550. This particular guy here is a translation from the Sanskrit by Dhritarashtra. Okay. So he's the heavenly king of the eastern direction, one of the 4 heavenly kings. It's their purpose is to protect us by keeping the ghosts and spirits in check. Okay, they wield a lot of authority over these ghosts. And actually, I remember, I told my students a long time ago in Lu Mountain Temple, in a tiny temple over there, where I used to go to Taiwan to learn Chinese. I stayed at the temple, by a Vietnamese master, and he got a PhD from the Taiwanese Shu Fan University, number 2 university in the country. So he teaches there, teaches Buddhism there. He taught Buddhism there. And he's very well off because he healed a lot of people. Okay, people who had cancer, especially he was proud to tell us that he had a disciple who's a doctor, and a very reputed doctor, very famous doctor, and the doctor has a mother who had cancer and is incurable. So the doctor came to him and said, is there a way for you to help my mother? So he says, yes, I can help your mother, but in return, I can help your mother, but in return, you need to help me translate sutras and print sutras in Vietnam. Okay, so of course I will help you. And so the monk says, okay, then if you agree to that, I will help you. So what he did, he helped the mother, and the mother was cancer-free. The mother lived instead of dying from cancer. So the Taiwanese doctor was so impressed. He gave him a lot of money, offered a lot of money, and paid him like $10,000 a month for life. Okay? So I was so impressed. I asked him, what is your secret? How did you heal? Because look at him and said, why did you do that? I mean, second dhyana. How can a second dhyana heal someone with cancer? So he said, hey, son. You see, he wanted to recruit me to be his disciple. Because I was Mashishiwa's, among his temples, that's why. Wherever I went, everyone tried to recruit me back then. Not anymore. So he says, it's not just this case. This is what I do all day. People come to me and I heal them. I said, how on earth did you heal them? Did you heal them? You heal them. He says, let me tell you a secret. I said, really? You're going to tell me your secret? Of course. He says, what I do is that I call the 4 kings, 4 heavenly kings. I said, I need your support because these people promised to help support me financially, my projects, in return for me to heal their loved ones. Okay? So will you help me? And the 4 heavenly kings agreed. And that's how he helped his disciples. And Wu Yin is sitting there and say, can I have his number? Does he heal the heart attacks? He's dead already, sorry. Why do you think I'm telling you? I'm not helping my competition. So anyway, so he told me, he said, then I understood why he was willing to tell me. He was willing to tell me because can you imagine now that I know, now you know, and you call the four heavenly kings and said, can you help me heal that person? And said, the heavenly king said, who are you? Okay, so he explained to me that he's been a high-level Sangha for so many lifetimes, countless lifetimes. That's why his blessings are incredible, and his heavenly kings know of him. They respect his virtues, his way virtues, being a monk for many lifetimes. So this is the first time I heard of a story of a monk who doesn't practice dhyana, chan, only practice being a monk for you know a long time. And that accrues virtue, virtues for the heavenly kings, these beings here, to defer to them, to help them. Isn't that interesting? Now Bosco is thinking I'm in the wrong profession. Damn it. Yes, 3.
So in other words, like he always keep coming back and not going to Pure Land?
Yeah.
Wow.
Precisely. And he is very wealthy. He said, son, this is like 20 years ago. He said, son, look at me. I have 20 million at least of assets. And I'm looking for someone to take over. I said, only 20 million? Am I that cheap? I was. Okay. Yeah. So that's what happened to these kings. So what happened is that these illnesses are caused by ghosts. Okay, and these four heavenly kings rule over those ghosts. That's why they can tell them to stop and not harass you. Isn't that interesting? The world is not just the way you think. You have to go see a doctor, like Mary Jo and Bosco. You know the right person like him and say, I have depression. Goodbye, depression. Good thing for them when he's dead already. Of course, spy number 2 has a question. 8.
Master, based on this scenario that you just talked about, we have a current case. Daniel's mom has some sort of cancer.
Yeah.
Can we? Is it possible for him to try to get a pact with the four heavenly king? Maybe like I'll help Master YongHua to propagate Dharma, stuff like that, to in exchange to cure his mom from the cancer.
Let's talk later. Can't talk about money publicly. It's not cool. How much money, by the way? Daniel, where you live again? Downtown LA? It can't be a whole lot. You cannot have a lot of money. Anyway, so you see, the point being that these heavenly kings, they are very influential. So that's how they can do a lot of things. They can keep these very powerful ghosts and demons in check. Okay? That's the moral of the story. So don't think you're wasting time. You're getting to know these big shots. And one day you say, I will, call on the heavenly king of the East. And so forth. All right? Hey, kids, are you impressed? Okay, we stop here today. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. And by the way. turn on the power just to not give you any delusions. He healed a lot of people, but he died from illness too. He was sick, and the kings could not help him. Okay? You should hear both sides of the story. It's always glamorous. It's always the dark side, okay? The unglamorous side. Okay? All right.